If you're looking to buy in the spring market, this video is for you. I'm Cbusnathan. I'm here with my lender partner, Lauren Walton with the Gerber Group. We're going to break down reasons why waiting to the spring might be maybe not in your best, best?
In your best interest.
That's what I'm, exactly. And also, if you are needing to wait for the spring, then this is going to kind of break down those steps to get you there.
So yeah, Nathan and I both were just having a conversation about how we see a lot of our buyers get really good deals at the end of the year and also at the beginning of the new year. And this really just has to do with the seasonality, especially in our market, Columbus. A lot of people don't like to move in the winter, in the middle of the school year, and also just like in the holiday season. So if you are potentially considering waiting till the spring, you may want to bump that up a little bit and just start even just casually looking over the next couple of months to see what you might be able to find, because it really could be a great time to get a really good deal.
Yeah, and I did just do a video on why buying in the winter months is a good idea. So if you click that link somewhere floating around us right now, that will lead you to that video and kind of break down why we do see such great deals during Q4 and Q1 of the year, and why our buyers get such great breaks on their homes. And we've had several buyers in the past where they're like, I'm so glad I bought one then, because I was able to get in a home that potentially I'm not able to get into during the spring market.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's a more relaxed shopping experience as a buyer, right? There's not as much competition. You don't feel that extreme urgency to put an offer in. There's usually not going to be bidding wars that you run into in the winter. So I just feel like it makes the experience a lot more enjoyable and a lot more relaxed,
Yeah, and that's it. The competition during the winter months is far less than the spring, but we totally understand if you are somebody who needs to buy in the spring, and what you should start to do now in the winter months to make sure that you're prepared. So we talked a little bit before this video on a couple of steps, especially from the lender perspective, that would be really advantageous for a potential buyer to start to do right now.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things of a lot of my buyers is just preparation is one of the key pieces to being ready to buy at any time of the year. But for the spring market especially, because as Nathan kind of alluded to, it is a competitive time. It's more of a competitive market to buy in the spring. But what I really recommend is giving yourself as much of a runway as possible to get prepared and for the preparation of that. So having a conversation with a lending partner is so important, so that between now, the next couple of months of the year and the beginning of the new year, you could prepare and take the right steps to be able to be ready to buy in the spring. So what that would look like would be having an initial conversation with a lender, getting pre-approved. Pre-approval is a soft credit check for us, so you're not going to have any negative detriment on your credit at all, but what we're going to be able to see is, what does your financial picture look like today? What does your credit look like? What does your income look like? Your debts, your assets, and so that we can figure out, are you right now in the best position you can be to buy in the spring, or are there some of these components, debts that maybe need paid off, credit that might need improved, assets that you might need to save more of? Maybe we find out that you need a co-signer. Maybe we find out that you're eligible for some great first-time homebuyer programs that would allow you to be able to buy sooner than you thought. But having that conversation and understanding your full financial picture will help you over the next couple of months to prepare and work on the things that need to be worked on, so that when spring does come, you are in the best position you can be in to make an offer. Especially with credit, we have the ability to help you improve your credit without any cost to you, but credit is going to be a direct reflection of the interest rate you get, a direct reflection of what your monthly payment will be if you have private mortgage insurance. So you want to make sure your credit is in tip-top shape, and in order to do that, you really need to be able to have that information now to be able to prepare yourself.
Yeah, and that is, the biggest thing whenever we're working with buyers, especially in the spring market, because it is so fast-paced. And making sure that you have a full understanding of what your whole financial picture looks like. Every buyer that we've had who has started earlier,
Yes.
always thanks us afterwards. And it takes so much stress off their plate as well.
100%.
It just makes it a lot easier for them understanding everything. And then it makes them more confident as well when
Yes.
they go to purchase that home.
100%. Yeah, because you don't want to feel like the decision to purchase a house of all things is impulsive, and you don't want to feel rushed, and you don't want to feel, that you don't have enough time to really talk through these things and think through these things. And what oftentimes we find is people will reach out to us once they find the house, and then at that point it's a huge rush. Everyone's in a hurry and doesn't feel, like I said, as enjoyable of a process. And then sometimes we do find out that there are things that need to be worked on, and now we've just set your timeline back a couple of months to be able to work on those things. The other really important part of getting prepared now is that tax filing season is going to be coming up here soon in the new year. And so we want to make sure that we know going into that, what did your last 2 years' taxes look like? What do we think the 2025 taxes are going to look like? So that we're also taking that into account in the preparation of making sure that you're ready for the spring market.
And that is key, especially for if you're like a small business owner and you need a couple years of filing, on record so that you can see exactly how much you're bringing in, and making sure that you file correctly for maybe the house that you're looking to purchase in the future.
Absolutely. And you're going to be gathering a lot of documents that we would need for the pre-approval for tax season anyways. So I always feel like it's a good time. If you have that stuff ready to go, you can, kind of kill two birds with one stone and get your mortgage pre-approval done as you're starting to prepare for taxes. As we kind of alluded to, the spring market can be very competitive. So if you feel that you are going to wait until the spring, just make sure that you give yourself a lot of time to prepare, have conversations with your realtor and lender so that we can put you in the best possible position and make you look as strong as possible when the spring season comes. And perhaps if you think you may be ready sooner, having a conversation with Nathan to set up a home search and having a pre-approval conversation with me so that if something does pop up on the market over the next 4 months, you can jump on it while you might be able to get something for less than list or sellers to cover some closing costs. There's a lot of wiggle room to negotiate right now.
And Lauren, you hit the nail on the head there, especially from my side of things. If I can have that buyer consult with you, now, and we can start to really hone in on what you really want in your home, because there's so many times when we will initially talk, and then as we start to go see homes and I set you up on a search and you start to get a feel for, what the space is like, how many beds do you actually need? Do you need a home office space? How important is a garage? All of those things, and especially the garage conversation in the winter months when it's snowing and cold, that might change your perception or perspective for sure on that. So those are such key moments for us to really prepare you. And I always love to go and tour, a few homes before you actually make an offer on your first home. Obviously, there are people out there who know exactly what they want, what they're looking for, and that perfect home pops up and they're ready to go with it. But allowing us to guide you through all of the details, the nitty-gritty stuff that might not be the most enjoyable, that really helps set up that time for when you're ready to take action.
Yes.
And it just makes it that much more special when, we get to do that call and say, congratulations, you're in contract on a home that makes complete sense for you because you've run your numbers, you know your finances, and you've done solid research yourself on what type of home you're looking for through working with myself and Lauren.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're somebody, like I said, looking to buy in the spring market, hopefully this video was super informative. It helped, maybe some of those gears start turning for you. As always, feel free to reach out to myself. I can get you connected with Lauren, and we would love to be the team that helps you get into that new home in the new year. So I am Cbusnathan. This is Lauren Walton with the Gerber Group. I put out videos every Friday. Would love for you to follow along if you want to know about things that are happening in Columbus, anything with the real estate market, nonprofits, so much more. This would be a great channel, and I would love to have you each week. So until next Friday, I guess Friday is when I put these out. Until next Friday, make sure you like, subscribe, follow along, and we'll see you then.